Okay, so we've got to now find all the values of x in this equation here, and notice it's the tan angle, yeah, the double angle of tan, okay, and we use the result. It's quite easy to get this from the formula booklet, right? You don't have to remember it as such, but if you work that out from the identity, it's really quick. You get tan 2x is going to be 2 tan x all over 1 minus tan squared x, okay? So remember I got that from here by from this here by setting b to be a, and then it just works out. But if you can remember it, even better, you know. So that's the result for tan 2x. So you replace it with that, and of course that equals to 4 tan x. And what I would do here with the equation, this stuff on the bottom here, I take up here. So I'd have 2 tan x equals to 4 tan x, and then of course if I take it up, I got to times then by 1 minus tan squared x. Okay, so take it up as a bracket, and I've got that there, times by the 4 tan x, taking up and multiplying. And then what I do then, I'd multiply through that bracket, so I get 4 tan x times 1 is 4 tan x, and 4 tan x times tan squared x is tan cubed x. Okay, so I've got that there. Alright, so I've got, notice that everything here is involved in tan, which is great, so I can now solve it. Get everything to one side, so maybe take that over, so it comes 4 tan cubed x, and then 2 tan x. Well, if I take that 4 tan x over, it's minus 4 tan x, so that would be, you can put them together, can't you? So you get minus 2 tan x equals 0. So you've got now, there's a cubic here, okay, right? But don't worry about that, because what you'll notice is that actually there's a common factor here of tan, right? Okay, so we can factorize out, can't we, tan? So this will be tan x factorized out. Okay, and in fact I can factorize out 2 tan x, can't I? Because 2 is a common factor as well. In the bracket, what do I times by 2 tan x to get this? Well, that would be 2 tan squared x, yeah? Okay, that will give me tan cubed x. And then what do I times by 2 tan x to get minus 2 tan x? Well, that will be minus 1. And that equals 0. So then when I've got something times something equals 0, either the first thing is 0 or the bracket is 0. Okay? Now if 2 tan x is 0, I've then got tan x should equal 0. Okay, that 2 sort of disappears in a way, because if 2 lots of tan x is 0, 1 tan x is 0. Or you could think of it as take the 2 over the other side and divide by 2, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. In this case then you get tan squared x equals minus 1 over, it becomes a 1, and then you've got to divide by the 2, so you get that there. It is tan squared x, okay? So of course to get tan x, you need to square root, okay? Take the square over and square root, but remember when you square root, plus or minus, don't forget that, right? You've got to remember plus or minus when you square root. Plus or minus root 1 over 2. Okay, so I can get my calculator and work these out. Now, because you've got a plus or minus option, we might want to work out both of them. Okay, and that would be the best route, I'd say. Okay, so you do tan to the minus 1 of root 1 over 2. Okay, equals, and then tan to the minus 1 of minus root 1 over 2. There'll be symmetry involved, so you'll notice the answers. One will be positive, one will be negative. So if I do that, I get 35.3 here, squeeze that in, 35.3 there, but if I put the minus of it, I get minus 35.3, okay? Now, we need to draw the tan graph, okay? And when you draw the tan graph, just like before, okay, we will go up, go across in 90s every 2 centimeters. Represent 90. Okay, and of course with a tan graph we have asymptotes, don't we? Asymptotes at 90 and 270. And if you're not sure where they're at, all you've got to do is type those values into your calculator. So when you type in tan 0 on your calculator, you get 0. When you type in tan 90, it says math error. And of course, math error just, it means going to infinity basically. Okay, it doesn't exist. So that's why there's an asymptote there. If you type in tan 180, it's 0. If you type in tan 270, math error again. Okay, so the tan graph looks like this. Okay, something that you need to learn if you don't know it already. Okay, now that one is easy to find, okay, this first one here, because when it's equal to 0, well, we've got a number of results. Okay, we've got 0 degrees, 180, 360. But before I write my results, let's just check out the scale again in the question, because we're going to need to see what they want the results between. And if you notice, it's between 0 and 180, okay, in this instance here, 0 and 180. There's no harm in me actually drawing from 0 to 360, but just remember, okay, that you don't actually need this part of the graph here. Okay, we only want everything between 0, okay, and 180 degrees. So when tan x is equal to 0, we've got 0 and 180. Okay, that's what x is equal to straight away. And then when it's equal to root 1 over 2 there, it's equal to 35.3 degrees. So we'll draw a line across there. So we've got an angle there of 35.3. And of course, to get that one there, we need to sort of realize it's a shift from 180. Okay, there we've gone from 0 to 35. Now we've gone from 180 and we're adding on 35.3. So I get 35.3. And that will be, what, 215.3. But of course, let's remember now, we only want the results between 0 and 180. So that one doesn't count, right? So we put it across to it because we don't want that one. And then this situation then, when it's equal to minus 35.3, well, we could imagine that graph, keep going, so you can see the symmetry involved. And we got our two results there. Okay, now of course that one isn't going to count because we don't want it, but this one will. And to get this one, we need to do 180 minus 35.3 because it's working back from 180 by 35.3, so we get 144.7 degrees. Okay, we won't include the minus 35.3 because it's outside of the range. So to conclude, we've got our results 0, we've got 35.3, we've got 144.7, and we got 180. Those are all of our results.